Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my podcast where you can gain insight on my perspective. My name is Hayden, and this is episode 14 of a series called 24 Lessons I've Learned in My 24 Years of Life. Lesson 14, this week's episode is called Leave Your Comfort Zone. A bunch of you probably are about to click off. That's okay. That is fine. Leaving your comfort zone can be very, very intimidating at first. But we don't get to experience growth. We don't get to experience change when we stay stagnant, when we stay stuck in our comfort zone. I've had numerous amounts of conversations with family, friends, acquaintances, people I've just met, and we'll have conversations about, I want this to happen, but it just hasn't happened yet. Well, are you taking any steps to make it happen? Like, I know somebody in my life that wants to move. What are you doing now? Are you cutting your spending costs? Do you have a specific amount in savings? Do you have a location? Are you checking out the area? Are you vacationing there? Are you getting to go away for a weekend? Check it out. Do you know people there? Are you getting to know people there? Are you growing your connections? Like, there's a whole list of things you could do before you actually move somewhere, which is something that I did, which I'll get into. The fact of the matter is you need to make change. You need to take a step in a different direction, do something differently than what you were doing now. To start off small, if you're someone like me who's focused on their health and well-being and stuff, a small change for me was to cut out soda or pop, whatever you call it. I'm from the Midwest. Nobody come at me. I called it pop my whole life. Carbonated beverages with lots of sugar in it. We'll go with that. I made the conscious decision to cut those out of my life. When I was younger, my grandma Sherry sat me and my brother down at a restaurant, and when we ordered like Fanta and root beer in front of her, she was like, ugh, I wish you guys would cut that shit out. My brother and I are like, what do you mean? Like, this is good. And she's like, there's so much sugar in that. And she's like, how much sugar is in your Fanta that you're drinking? I think there was like 70 grams of sugar. I forget how many ounces I was drinking. And like, I couldn't comprehend what that looked like, what 70 grams of sugar looked like, you know? Like, I'm just a kid. Why do I need to worry about this stuff? Well, she went and she counted out 70 packets of sugar and laid it in front of me. It was a mountain of sugar. She goes, all of that is in that drink that you're drinking. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't want it. Don't give it to me. I don't want it. My brother didn't really care. Honestly, he kept drinking it. Now, not so much. I don't think that kid eats or drinks a lot of sugar anymore these days. Seeing that perspective was crazy. And it was uncomfy for me to like not order pop whenever I was out with my friends, because like that's what they were getting. Like, we would get pizza, pop, candy. Like, granted, every single time I hung out with my friends, we never had anything healthy. Like, ever. Anytime we hung out, it was pizza, pop, and chips, which a lot of us were very active. Like, when we were hanging out, like, we would like go bike riding or go for a walk or run around and play, and like, we were burning everything off anyway. But like, as we got older, I was like, ooh, yeah, I don't think I want all of this all of the time. Like, I can barely feel good enough to like put all this into my body. So I started making small changes. I like cut out pop, and that was like a really big thing, because I was like, oh, do you know how much more water I could be drinking right now? And the more water I drank, the healthier I felt and the less dehydrated I was. And I was like, you know what? I really don't need these sugary beverages. Like, sure, they're like really good to try every once in a while, but I could not drink them on a day-to-day basis. But also, I just pay attention to what feels good in my body. So if you're still drinking soda or pop or whatever it is, and you're still feeling good, and like that's something you want to do, keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. If it's working for you, keep doing it. When something is getting mundane and boring and it's not working anymore, now's the time to revise, step out of your comfort zone, and choose another path. Take another step in a direction that's going to lead you to where you want to be, and not staying stagnant of just wishing that you were where you want to be. Because you can actually get to where you want to be, believe it or not. Well, you kind of have to believe it if you can get there. One of the biggest parts about me leaving my comfort zone was me actually moving to Florida. Me staying determined. I had this dream since I was a kid, because my uncle has always lived down here, and we would vacation down here once a year, and I got to know the area, and I was like, it would be so cool to live here. Like, I cannot believe people live here. Like, this is where I come to vacation and people just live here. That's crazy. I want to live here. So every year, like, we come to the beach, I'd spend as much time as physically possible that we could at the beach. I would soak it all in. I would bring my camera, I would film, I'd make vlogs, I'd do so much. I'm like, I'm gonna live here one day. I'm gonna live here one day. And that was like one of my first forms of, not first forms, but like probably one of the best examples of like manifesting is I would constantly say that. And then it got to the point where I was like, I could go to college down here. I could move out when I'm 18, come down here, go to college, live down here. That would be so fun. And so I told my dad, I was like, this is what I want to do. I know and feel it to be true in my heart and my soul. This is something that I really want to do. And I came to terms with the fact that I was leaving my family. I was leaving my friends. But I knew that people could come and visit. And the people who don't come and visit, that's on them. Like, if you're physically able to go do something, but you're allowing fear to hold you back, that's on you. And people used to make me feel bad for not coming back home and visiting them simply because they chose not to travel. They have their own fears that they're working through. They don't want to travel. They don't want to get out. And I'm like, listen, I still come up. I still visit. But that's on you if you don't visit me. I miss you just as much. I don't miss you any less. But if you are physically able to, financially, whatever, you're the only person holding yourself back. And if you don't step out of your comfort zone and face your fears, you're going to be stuck in the same exact spot for the rest of your life. And that's something that I see so many examples of through family, friends, acquaintances, other people living their lives, is like staying stuck. And I'm the type of person that is like fluid. Everything's flowing. I just leave the pathways open to just flow. Life has taken me exactly where I'm supposed to be. And when I don't put limitations on that, I open myself up to all these doors, to all these opportunities, whether that is a different career, a new partner, a new friend, exploring a new location, making new connections, having all these opportunities. Leaving your comfort zone also boosts your confidence. For example, I went to one of my cousin's weddings this past weekend. I've had two of my cousin's weddings this month. And each time I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went and danced. Granted, I may have had a little bit of liquid courage, but I was out there making new friends, making other people feel included, because I've been standing next to a dance floor, scared shitless, not wanting to go out on the dance floor for this fear of people judging me. And I got over that. Like I said, even though I have a little bit of liquid courage, it takes a lot more courage than that little bit of liquid that I had. And I saw family and friends that are kind of like dancing by themselves, not sure if they want to come out on the dance floor. I would pull them out on the dance floor because I liked when people did that to me. I mean, I hated it at one point in time in my life because I was in my comfort zone on the sidelines of that dance floor. I was not stepping on that dance floor, just bouncing on the side. I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable over here. If anybody pulls me on the dance floor, I'm gonna be pissed because that's scary, that's embarrassing, and I would just tell myself all these negative things. And lo and behold, a family member or a friend yanked me out on the dance floor, and I'm like insecure out there dancing. But then I see them dancing, then I see everybody else dancing. I'm like, nobody cares. Everybody's enjoying themselves, everybody's having fun. You literally only live once. And what if this is the last wedding I go to and I'm like, I'm not dancing? And I really want to, like, why deprive yourself of doing something that you want to do, even if it is outside of your comfort zone? That is the only way to grow. So ever since that happened, I've been able to confidently go out on the dance floor and dance my little heart out each time, and I surprise my family every single time. They're like not surprised, but they're like, Hayden's gonna end up on the dance floor at some point in time in the night. And that is something they have accepted, and that's something I accepted because I was like, I'm very grateful that I was able to step out of my comfort zone and do something fun. And it's not like somebody is being like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe Hayden went out on the dance floor. I can't believe, did you see the way he was dancing? Like, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe. Nobody's thinking that. Literally nobody. But in my head, once upon a time, I thought that's what people were thinking. And I thought that if I like didn't know how to dance, somebody was gonna make fun of me. No, no. There is no good or bad. People can dance. People can dance. That's all I'm saying. And it also, leaving your comfort zone also expands your awareness. You become aware of so many other perspectives and alignments and everything when you step outside of your comfort zone. If you are constantly living in this bubble, you're not going to get to experience the world. I remember a very specific memory when I think I was 15. My parents, my brother, and I brought friends to Florida on vacation. One of the things I was not ready to step out of my comfort zone was to go and ride a jet ski in the ocean. I had never been on a jet ski before, and I love the ocean but terrified of sharks. They were wanting me to get on a jet ski. I was very uncomfortable, so I got really pissed off. I got really angry, and I got really depressed because I was also dealing with like an identity crisis at the time, so I was just thinking about so many things all at once. But the main thing in that moment was the fact that I was scared, and I didn't want to admit I was scared, and I didn't want to leave my comfort zone because I was comfy tanning on the beach with my best friend. Then she went and got on, and everybody was telling me, "You're gonna regret not doing this, you're gonna regret not doing this. It's so fun, just do it." But I also hated being peer pressured, and it made me even more anxious. And so I didn't ride the jet ski that day. Everybody else did. Everybody had a good time. They didn't stop talking about it. I had FOMO, but I was also just like super upset with myself, and I didn't get to experience that. Obviously, now I have since gotten over this fear, and I rented jet skis on 4th of July a couple years ago with my dad and his wife and my brother, and we had a good time. My cousin has a jet ski, so we've gone on hers. Like, it's been fun, and I'm getting over that fear. And also, jet skis are not just like readily available to people. That is like a very cool opportunity to take, and yes, you do need to go out of your comfort zone to be able to ride one. So yeah, there was a time that I did regret not doing it. I was too afraid of what other people would think. And when you're so focused on what people are going to think, it ruins your chances of growth. It literally hinders your progress in whatever direction you're trying to go. Because a lot of people that are judging you for leaving your comfort zone, they're jealous that you are leaving your comfort zone because they know that's not something they would ever do. And that's something I've learned, because if somebody judges you for leaving your comfort zone, not saying they're a bad person, they're just not at the level of readiness that you're at. If they're not willing to step out of their comfort zone and they're treating you poorly because of it, don't hang around them. Don't talk to them. Let them figure themselves out. It's going to take a while for them to grasp onto things. And when they do, they might come back and they're going to be like, you know what, you were right. I should have left my comfort zone. I just need to do it on my own time. But I do want to say, do not pressure anybody to leave their comfort zone. You can merely set an example and tell people about how you left your comfort zone. Yeah, even though I knew I was going to leave family and friends behind whenever I made this move, I was so confident and so sure that this is exactly where I needed to be in my life. I didn't see a future for myself in Ohio. That wasn't something that I ever really saw, which growing up, I had a very hard time seeing the future because I didn't know who I was for so long. And I was like, I don't even know who I am. How am I supposed to think about my future? I don't even see a future. I see darkness. There is no future for me, is what I thought for a lot of the time. And I would tell my family I think I'm gonna die young because I don't see a future. And now being 24 years old, I see a future. It's not clear, but it's not dark anymore, which I'm very grateful to say that, because a lot of people during the same time that I was like, I don't have a future, also did not see a future for themselves. And it was really hard to relate to anybody that could see a future, because I already knew all these people that also don't see a future, who are used to having people just dip out of the world at that age, for not being understood or not understanding the ways of the world, and things were just really difficult. You know, we just wouldn't leave our comfort zones. For me, my comfort zone was my future's dark. There's nothing to really look forward to, but I guess I'll try and live my life right now, which I know this is kind of deep. I know this is kind of sad, but we all have these thoughts at one point in time in our life if we hit a low. I'm grateful for those lows, because if I didn't have those, I wouldn't be able to feel the highs that I feel. For me, feeling those lows and highs are very important, which is something I used to complain a lot about because I was having too many lows and highs, like all at the same time. Emotional roller coasters are not fun. I was riding a high building up to me moving to Florida when I was 18. I was just on this steady high. Like graduation, I wasn't looking forward to graduating for personal reasons, but I was looking forward to the day after graduation which was me and my best friend Libby flew out to Colorado for my senior trip, and we explored Colorado together, which was really fun. And then I got back, and I came down on a low because I was like, wow, that was really fun. I want to go back. I want to do it again. I'm going to miss Libby. I'm moving away from her. This is really sad. Then I had my going away party, which I was going back up again. I even made a YouTube video at the time saying how grateful I was for everybody and how I am going to miss everybody, but I know I need to make this move because it's just what I need to do. I know I'm going to grow so much. And then, I'm riding that high, I'm traveling to Florida, driving down with my dad and my dog. We make it, finish signing the papers for the apartment. I get my license, everything put in my name for the state of Florida. I move into my apartment. I'm riding this high for so long, meet my roommates, hanging out, partying, drinking, doing everything with my roommates, going to the beach every day, just like really riding this high. And then school started, and then boom, everything dropped. Everything fell off the face of the planet. I was able to think clearly again, and I was like, I did not even process that I made such a big move. I did not pay attention to the fact that I just uprooted my life and moved to a completely different state. But I know the area. I'm very familiar with the area because I essentially grew up here. I was just here for a week out of the year every year. Seeing that was like crazy. So it was a lot I had to work through, and even though like it was such a big change, I ended up being grateful for it because I got to know who I was separately from everyone around me. I got to be an adult for the first time. I got to make more decisions for myself versus hearing constant opinions of other people around me, just like living on my own. Even though I had roommates, I was still living on my own with some help from my dad. Things changed again shortly after I moved. My dad met his now wife, and I met that family, and now I've been blended in this family for like 5 years, and it's been wonderful. And I love my family. I love that I have such a big family now, and not that I didn't have a big family before, but just watching my family grow and branch out in multiple directions is a really cool thing to see, and I'm very grateful for it because there is so much love coming from all sides of the family, and having so many connections and experiences and trips and parties, and life is just really good. And had I not taken that step from Ohio to Florida, I would not be living the life that I'm living today. Really crazy to say. I'm getting emotional thinking about that because I am so grateful for my highs and my lows and my ups and downs and the people that have been in and out of my life, because I've learned something from every single person that has come into my life. And right now, I have such a wonderful, amazing group of friends, both here in Florida, Asheville, Ohio. I have friends all over, which I'm grateful for to make those connections. But I just feel that everybody in my life right now is exactly where they're meant to be. And if somebody wants to go in and out of my life right now, that's fine. I fully understand that people are meant to do that. Some people are here for a moment, a season, a chapter, a year, a month, the rest of your life. You just don't know. But whenever you vibe with somebody, keep that connection going until it doesn't work out anymore. And for you to even make that connection, you got to step out of your comfort zone. Hi, I'm Hayden. Nice to meet you. I'm always excited to try new things now because I've stepped out of my comfort zone so many times. My anxiety levels have gone down so much over time because I realized trying something new really isn't that scary. Unless it's like really risky for myself, then of course I'm going to be a little scared of it. But if it's something I know that's going to benefit me and it scares me, that's when I know I need to do it. I was honestly scared to rock climb and go bouldering for the first time when my best friend Libby was like, hey, we're gonna go rock climbing and bouldering. Are you ready? Like, is that something you want to do? And without hesitation, I was like, yes. And I thought about it. I was like, ooh, I'm kind of anxious about this. I don't know. But I'm not backing out because I already agreed to it. And I'm glad I didn't back out because, yeah, I agreed to it. And it was something that I wanted to do. Subconsciously, I knew I wanted to do it. So even though it was scary and I had to learn something new, it was fun. And now I love doing it. And I've gone 3 times since. I even got my dad to go with me in Miami, which was really fun. I took him for Father's Day. Yeah, when you step out of your comfort zone, you get to try new things. And I'm also very happy that my dad stepped out of his comfort zone and tried one of my hobbies with me, because that was a good way to bond and connect. I know he's somebody who also likes to test his strength, And rock climbing and bouldering will do that for you. It also uses your brain a lot. You're like navigating these new skills and movements and stuff, and it's just really cool. I could like go on about it. Step out of your comfort zone. Take that risk. Apply for the job. Meet up with that person. Go on that date. Plan that trip. Tell someone you love them. Explore that new location. Get that new car. Step out of your comfort zone. Do it within your means, and if stepping out of your comfort zone is still something that scares you, even though you listen to this whole thing and now you're thinking about it, take baby steps. Take it day by day. Maybe you want to change your routine or habit. Start going somewhere different. If you have a very specific routine where you like wake up, drink coffee, journal, work out, whatever, mix up your events that you're doing. If you're a part-time editor like me, try editing different content for the day and watch how that will open you up to new avenues of editing styles, and you get inspiration from so many other things. That's just one example. But step out of your comfort zone, take that risk, and know that you're going to be okay regardless. You're always going to learn something no matter what, but you're not going to learn anything if you stay in your bubble. And if you don't explore, you don't say hi to that person that you want to say hi to. In order to grow, you need to move. You need to change. Take that step. Take that leap. Leave your comfort zone. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's podcast episode. I hope to catch you guys in next week's. Have a great week.